Hello again, everyone. It's Ariel Helwani on this Wednesday afternoon, this time joined by the great Francis Ngannou, the le Predateur himself, who's been in the news very much as of late, especially over the past week or so. And so we needed to ask him some questions. We need to figure out what's going on in particular between him and Johnny Bones Jones. First off, Francis, thank you again for the time. I appreciate it. How are you?
I'm good, Ariel, and yourself.
I'm doing really well. Thank you. It's good to talk to you again. We
Awesome.
spoke not that long ago after your big win over Jairzinho, but a lot has happened since then. And so I just want to ask you right off the top, where do things stand right now as far as your fight or potential fight with Jon Jones?
I think that one is not moving on very well since the last comment of the UFC president Dana White. But at some point, I thought that fight is going to happen, and I thought I might have a fight before many months as last time. But it's not happening. It's stuck somewhere. It's stuck somewhere. So let's see how it goes.
Do you know why it's stuck? Has that been explained to you?
I mean, it was clear that he was about money. Like they said, what Jon Jones asks is not what they are willing to pay. And then so we didn't even uh, spoke about something, speak about something because it was just clear that they weren't willing to.
Do you know what he asked for?
I don't know.
I guess the question is that people are wondering, including myself, like, do you think that he asked for something reasonable, or do you think that he asked for a number that's so big because he knew that the UFC would say no to that number because perhaps deep down inside he doesn't really want this fight? That's the thing that's being debated at the moment. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I really understand, but I don't think so. I think he asked for something which is reasonable, and then me, I don't know how much that was, but I think he asked for something reasonable. People said Jones, he doesn't want to fight me. I think he wants, like, because he makes himself clear, and he wants money. He tells the UFC he wants money. He tells everyone that he wants money, and we know all what guy can do with money for money, you know. So, and once again, it's not like a middleweight or welterweight. Jon Jones is a light heavyweight. He walk around as a heavyweight. He has to cut weight to go to heavyweight, to light heavyweight. So and he's been around. He's a world class champion. He's been in the top for a long time. He has this experience. So I think he won the fight. I mean, I believe that.
Do you think he's sincere? Because in the past he's talked about heavyweight, but then he went back to light heavyweight. You actually felt this time that he was sincere. Why do you feel that way?
I don't know. I mean, like they have been asking me about this fight for a long time, but each we haven't teased each other until like a week ago. So if he wasn't sincere, why would he be there and tease me? Like, yes, he can decide to go to heavyweight. That's a different topic. But like, okay, I'm going to fight this person. That's a different topic.
Did it ever get to the point where the UFC was talking to you about the fight, or were they just talking to him?
No, they never like really talk to me about it.
How do you feel about that?
About what?
Well, I mean, it takes two to tango, right? They need to get you on board as well.
Yes, but there is no tango because they are not they are not willing to play the music.
Right. How disappointing, how frustrating is that for you?
Well, it's just another one on many disappointment. So my question now is what when will be my next fight? And once again, I'm hoping it won't be like in another 11 months or so. So let's see what they get from me.
Do you feel like it's dead? Like, do you think that it's actually not going to be, discussed again? There's no chance of this fight happening between you and Jon Jones?
He has to be discussed. I think this fight is so big. I mean, I always, to be honest, I never talk about it. People always ask me about it, and I kind of like deflect
Yeah.
the question. But I knew that is something was gonna happen. I didn't think that we're gonna be talking about this fight at this point, but I knew that it's gonna happen at some point. So yes, now than ever, I believe this fight is gonna happen. Uh, Maybe not now, but it's gonna happen. There's no
What?
way that this fight is not happening
Why did you feel like
because
it was going to happen? That it was inevitable?
it's such a big fight. It's such a big challenge. I mean, either for me or for John, it's just a big challenge, and a fan has been so excited about this fight. I mean, if they care about fans a little bit, there's no way this fight is not going to happen.
So John said that, hey, when I go up and take a challenge like this, when I move up to heavyweight to fight a guy as dangerous and powerful and talented as Francis Ngannou, I should be making more. There's a risk involved, and I should be paid for that risk. Do you agree with what John has said about this?
Yes. Besides that, this is a big fight. I think. I mean, yes, he's moving up to heavyweight, but this is a big fight. I think it's reasonable to ask for more compensation. Like I would do the same. I mean, I'm also expecting something out of this fight to be
Hmm.
a big payday or something like that. Not because I'm moving up. No, I'm technically I'm moving down, but still want some money. So it's just the circumstances. It's just the fight. The fight sounds to be very entertaining, big fight, and it was the risk. It
So,
was the case.
so to be clear, like even if they did come to terms with John on any kind of deal, and then they come to you, you're not going to fight Jon Jones for the same money that you fought Jairzinho Rozenstruik for. You feel
Oh
like this
no,
fight.
no, no, no. What are you talking about?
I just wanted to make it clear.
No, no, no. Be clear. Be sure about that. That's not happening.
Okay. So you want to pay, and that's why I was wondering if they reached out to you yet, because it feels like if they just reach out to one side, obviously they have to get them on board before they start talking to you, but they need to get both of you on board, it sounds like, as well.
I don't know. Maybe, as I said, there wasn't winning on that. Maybe it's not just on their timing. Who knows? Maybe
Uh,
they are planning to do that in the future, but it's not their right time. They have some plan going, moving on, but maybe they want to do that in the future.
Have you seen the reaction to this fight? It seems like the fans, I mean, there aren't that many fights that the UFC can put on right now that seems to generate the kind of buzz that you two were generating and can generate. And especially when you talk about for the masses, for the non-MMA fans, it seems like this is a very easy fight to sell. Were you noticing all the buzz surrounding this, all the excitement? And did that make you think, okay, the UFC has to be looking at this as well? This is a no-brainer.
No, I think the UFC know very well about this because they have been talking about this fight for like at least a year. Like all the time, I used to have interview and fans will always ask me about the Jones fight, and I have to deflect the conversation, but it always came up. Like something that is not avoidable. Like I need the rematch against Stipe. I want to be the heavyweight champ. But people will mostly ask me about the Jones fight or than the Stipe fight or a DC fight. You know, they always ask me about talk to me about Jones fight. Then I'm like, okay, I'm not cutting. I'm not going down unless Jones comes up. Then we will talk about a fight. But I'm not going down. But and obviously I sense that is gonna happen, but no soon.
Obviously, if Jon Jones moves up, there's no belt on the line. But I'm wondering, considering who he is and his great resume, in your opinion, is a fight against Jon Jones at heavyweight bigger than a fight against Stipe for the belt?
Yes, the I mean, obviously I want the fight for Stipe, First of all, for the revenge, and second for the belt. But I think we all will agree in the fact that fight against Jon Jones is huge, way more than the fight against Stipe.
And in your heart,
I mean, that's my opinion.
yeah,
No, I mean, like, okay, let's say I'm not a fighter, and I want to see some fight. Francis Ngannou against Stipe, Francis Ngannou against Jon Jones. There's no doubt it's Francis Ngannou against Jon Jones that I want to see, you know. But everyone has his own purpose.
you guys have been going back and forth a little bit on social media, and one of the things that he was saying is that there's not a lot of technique there when he sees you striking. What have you made of a lot of the things that he's said about you over the past couple weeks?
Well, nothing, people always say things. Even before my last fight, I heard things, but it doesn't change how the fight goes. So we get there, we put it down, and we see how it goes. I mean, I have my own technique, and maybe know the same thing, but he helps me to win. At the end of the day, the matter is to win the fight.
Just curious, there's been a lot of debate lately about who the greatest of all time is. Do you consider Jon the greatest of all time?
Of all the time, okay. So let's be honest about this. Like, there's a many UFC or MMA fighter that I never really watched, because
Mm,
I get into this like just 6 years ago, and just been following my own career, and everything just has to be about what is pretty close to my own career. But so far, I will not argue. I will not argue that is. I mean, sport wise, he has proved it all. He been in the head of this division for like what, um, almost a decade. So there is no argument about that.
okay. And so now in your heart, do you think your next fight will be against Jon? Do you think that it gets figured out, or are you not holding out hope?
I'm not holding on hope. When you hold in too much hope, then things doesn't happen, and you get frustrated. And I don't want to be in that position. I just want to let things happen. What happened, happened. Doesn't matter. The only thing, I want to be active, and I hope this time they take that in consideration.
And so when you say active, let's say they do Stipe versus DC in August, and this Jon fight doesn't materialize. Are you open to fighting other people?
First of all, forget about let's say. I think at this point we have to talk about fact.
Yeah.
Like, okay, DC and Stipe is fighting in August or not? I want to know.
Hmm.
First, give me that they are fighting or not, and if they are fighting, when when will be the next title challenge in the heavyweight division?
Okay.
That's the first thing I want to know.
That's when you'll decide if you'll be open to taking another fight, right?
I think another fight will make sense. Will has to be maybe a super fight. I mean, like, just take a regular fight, or stay here and wait to build up some Jadinho to come fight me. That doesn't interest me at all.
Anyone outside of Jon that you consider a super fight?
Mm, I don't know. I mean, I would have said yes, maybe DC, but DC is fighting Stipe, so
Right.
no.
Okay. So it's a very interesting time. And by the way, since the Jairzinho fight, not related to Jon, did you have any talks, or your management have any talks with the UFC about what could be next for you? Anything, any kind of communication?
They said they are figuring out what's going on with Stipe.
Okay.
They're trying to see what's happened in August. I mean, how it goes, because it's not official yet. It's not locked yet. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that.
Now, speaking of big fights, super fights, Eddie Hearn, who's a famous boxing promoter, said recently that he feels like he can make a fight between you and Dillian Whyte, the heavyweight boxer, very soon. He feels like there's a lot of momentum, and soon he wants to talk to Dana White about this. Have you heard about these comments from Eddie Hearn?
Yeah. I heard about that. But once again, I'm on the UFC contract, and nothing would happen without the UFC approval.
Okay. Are you interested in this fight?
I'm interested about everything will make sense because otherwise, my future is blamed.
So do
You
you know
know,
who Dillian is, right?
yeah, I've been hearing about him like for a few months. I mean, I haven't said nothing about it because he talk a lot of crap, and I don't want to follow up. But yeah, I find out who he is.
What's his beef with you? Why is he talking so much crap?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's how he talk because I saw that he's doing the same thing with everyone. It's not just about me. So
But this is something that you've talked about, right? Wanting to do boxing, so this could be the opportunity. Do you think the UFC would let you?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, let's find out. The UFC is unpredictable.
Yes, to put it mildly. Now, but if they say yes, this is something you're interested in, right?
Yeah, I would be interested about that. I mean,
Doesn't
it's
sound
a
like you're
good
too
thing,
excited about it.
huh?
It doesn't sound like you're very excited about it.
Yes, because there a lot of if,
Yeah. You're tired of
and
the
I'm
ifs.
yes, there's a lot of if this, if the UFC, if Eddie Hearn, if Dylan White, you know. So I want something concrete. I want something like a fact, you know. I mean, I'm excited. That is super fight that I'll be interested. Like Dylan White want to come to the UFC to fight me. Oh, let's see that, you know. And then either I go to the ring to fight him. That's work for me.
Let me ask you this before I let you go. What means more to you, to be the heavyweight champion of MMA or the heavyweight champion of boxing?
Uh, right now, I'm doing MMA. I think we have to take things step by step. You know, I have to achieve what I'm doing in MMA before set another goal in the boxing. You know, like stay focused on what I'm doing. Eventually, when I will step crossover, then I will have a different goal for boxing. But now I'm in MMA, so I have to achieve what I have here.
Earlier
I
this month,
haven't
right?
I
No, I
haven't
understand
achieved
that.
yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Earlier this month when we spoke, you were frustrated. Would it still be fair to say that you're frustrated, or do you feel like because you're far away from the fight now, you've kind of gotten over
You
that a little
know,
bit?
for the past month, I understood many things. You have to like calm down because it's not your call. You
Right.
know, uh, no matter what you want, or you have to wait for the UFC. I mean, as long as you are in the contract with them, that's how it works. And then thinking about it, getting frustrated doesn't help you at all. So I kind of like chill, uh, see life differently, enjoy about life. Just take this as a job because at the end of the day, this is just a job. You know, I have a life. Unfortunately, I can't travel now, but I would have been home right now with my family and
Mm.
enjoy it and forget about all the fighting things. You know, so yeah.
Two last things. So dealing with this and the Dillian White stuff, does that make, I know you talked to me last time, you have two more fights left on your contract. Does this give you more things to think about when you eventually become a free agent?
I've been thinking about that for a very long time. So it's I'm good in that side.
Okay. You
I'm
like the
good.
freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing worth the freedom.
Okay. Do you think is it possible that after those two fights you will leave the UFC?
Maybe n- what do you mean by possible?
Well, okay, not possible. Like, is it fair to say that after you're done those two fights, you will leave the UFC?
No. I cannot say that, but at least we will do a new contract on the different term.
Okay. And finally, any message to Jon? Anything you want to say to Jon Jones?
I mean, at this point, I don't think I have anything to say to Jon Jones because it's like the UFC has throw a ice water on my face, so I'm dropped. Like weeks ago, I was very excited about this, and now, I mean, I can't hold Jon accountable, so I don't really have nothing to say, tell him. But the only thing that I expect is that he take this fight seriously, and because it's gonna happen,
Or
and I want you to be involved.
maybe you want to say something to the UFC.
Yes, to make the fight happen, of course. I mean, to make me fight, or to tell me when is my next fight. That's all what I want to know.
Well, I think I speak for everyone when I say, I mean, there are few fights that are more exciting on paper than Francis Ngannou versus Jon Jones. Everyone was buzzing about it. It was a bummer, but I'm gonna hold out hope, Francis. I still believe that it is alive, and I feel like there's a chance that it happens. They have to.
I
It's
believe
too
so.
big.
Yes, I believe so. I mean, the USA they know exactly what they are doing. So I think it might just be a matter of timing, with the empty arena fight, everything
Mhm.
now. So they don't want to deal with many of those things at once. Maybe that's why they lay down a little bit on that.
Francis, I appreciate the time as always, my friend. Thank you very much, and I hope for your sake they figure this out soon and that we get the fight that everyone has been talking about, you versus Jon Jones. Thank you, my friend. All the
Thank,
best.
thank you, Ariel. Have a good day.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.